As the leaves change colors and the fall season sets upon the NFL, one thing is clear. Head coach Lindy Infante's Green Bay Packers are serious contenders in the NFC Central. The spirited Packers, with third-year quarterback Don Majkowski, have the #1 offense in the NFL and are off to their best start since 1983. First, in one of the biggest sports stories ever, he was called upon to help establish a new league. Then the call came to help reestablish America's team. Now, Herschel Mania has made its way to the Minnesota Vikings, who have the best defensive team in the NFL. With Herschel Walker on offense, the Vikings' master plan seems complete. For the past 5 years, the Chicago Bears have dominated the NFC Central. But this year, staying on top of the pack won't be easy, as no one team appears to be running away with the title. From the Metrodome in downtown Minneapolis, an NFC Central Division battle today, the Green Bay Packers against the Minnesota Vikings. Chicago is still atop the division with a 4-1 record, but giving chase both the Packers and the Minnesota Vikings, and they are joined at 3-2 by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Bert Lundquist, and welcome to the Met. Of course, the big news here in the upper Midwest, the acquisition of Herschel Walker. He is an impact player. We expect him to play today. As a matter of fact, if Minnesota wins the coin toss, he might even return the opening kickoff. My partner again is Terry Bradshaw, and Terry, Herschel has practiced twice with Minnesota. What kind of effect do you expect him to have today and then throughout the year?
Well, first of all, the Vikings, Jerry Burns, they gave Herschel 8 running plays after the first practice. He knew all of those after Saturday's practice. Herschel told us, I know all the running plays, I know all the passing plays, and I know all the blitz pickups. I know the audibles. So Herschel Walker is ready to play. One thing he gives the Vikings is a complete back. The Vikings won't have to pull him out of the game plan. He runs with power. He catches the ball equally well. So once he gets it down, Vern, expect Herschel to make a major contribution to what Mike Lynn has already said. Herschel Walker gets us to the Super Bowl is a great trade. If he doesn't, we don't, then it wasn't a good trade.
Well, they won't get to see Herschel in the opening kick because Green Bay won the toss, and they come in, Terry, facing a Viking defense that's best in the league. The Green Bay offense, surprisingly, is ranked #1.
Well, I'm not surprised that Lenny Infante's offense, Vern, is #1 offense in the National Football League. Everywhere he has gone, he has always had a great offense. Players to watch today, Majkowski at quarterback, Sharp at wide receiver, Fullwood out of Auburn, a young running back with lots of power, and then a Tim Harris rushing. They have now, the Packers, gained respect throughout the National Football League. It's no surprise to everyone, including the Packers, that they should be one of the best.
No surprise either that Minnesota did not win the toss. They haven't won one yet. The Packers have owned this series in the 80s. They have won 9 of the last 11 and the last 4 in a row. Vince Workman and Jeff Query are deep to return Rich Karlis's kickoff. Karlis, not known for his strong leg, has not had a touchback so far this year since being signed as a free agent out of Denver. This will be his 10th kickoff for the Minnesota Vikings. And it'll be Vince Workman, the rookie from Ohio State. Out to the 20-yard line, first down and 10. Mark Duspavic makes the tackle. Here comes Don Majkowski. 11 touchdown passes so far this year. And his offensive line, it has become a very good one. Majkowski said they're playing terrific. Rutgers, Moran, Bush, Holstrom, Alan Feingrad, and Ed West, the tight end. And in the backfield is Keith Woodside, Brent Fullwood having a terrific year. The wide receivers, Perry Kemp and Sterling Sharp. And on obvious passing downs, you will see Jeff Query and Aubrey Matthews. First down and 10. Twin sets to the left side. Slot back right. Majkowski with a toss to Brent Fullwood. Chased by Studwell, gets by him, out of bounds at the 24. Defensively for the Vikings, #1 in the NFL, Al Noga, Henry Thomas, Keith Millard, and Chris Dolman up front. The linebackers, and here's where the trade had an effect. Meriwether and Studwell start. Ray Berry goes over to the weak side linebacker where Jesse Solomon and David Howard were traded. And defensively in the backfield, Lee, Rutland, Travis Curtis, and Joey Browner. McMillan and Fullington are the nickel and dime backs for respectively. Second down and 6, 24. Gowski back, right side, caught by Keith Woodside, circles left, has a first down to the 35. Tackle made by Henry Thomas and Joey Browner.
One of the best ways to attack a defense that is great rushing the passer is to have a quarterback and an offensive system, Vern, that sets up quickly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps by McCaskey, a hop, and then turn loose to the football. When it's quickly thrown, then that minimizes the pass rush.
Terry, he said almost every pattern they have, most of them are a 5-step drop, right?
That's correct.
First and 10, Green Bay. They've got the ball at the 35. And off on the front draw, Fullwood wraps up this time, fumble. Minnesota, I believe, has it. Henry Thomas caused it on Fullwood fumbles.
The left of your screen, 97, is Henry Thomas. Notice there's the lead, Woodside with the lead block, but then, oh, that's behind. That's Merriweather, the backside linebacker, Mike Merriweather, came around. Vern took his left hand and poked the ball out of Fullwood's arms.
First down and 10. Minnesota takes over. They are minus in turnovers this year. That's a bit of a surprise for a team with a winning record. Both teams are minus. Here's Dozier going left to the 34. John Anderson with the tackle. Tommy Kramer, of course, replaces the injured Wade Wilson at quarterback, the long-time starter for the Vikings. And he is joined up front offensively by Zimmerman, Huffman, Kirk Loudermilk, Todd Kalis, the second-year man, Tim Irwin, and Steve Jordan, who's bothered by a bad ankle. Dozier and Anderson start in the backfield. Darren Nelson went to Dallas. Anthony Carter and Hassan Jones at wide receivers. And Leo Lewis and Jim Gustafson will join the lineup on obvious passing downs. Rick Fenny comes in as a fullback now to the 31. Dozier to the left, Fenny to the right. And Fenny in motion. Kramer, right side, almost picked off. Ron Pitts stepped in front of it and was near his first interception of the year.
Yeah, the key to this pass to be completed, Vern, is for Hassan Jones, 84, to drive Pitts deep until Pitts turns and runs. But this case, it was a medium route run by Hassan Jones. He did not drive the corner deep enough to turn him. Therefore, Pitts was in position to make the interception.
Gustafson comes in now and joins Carter and Hassan Jones. Gustafson comes in the slot to the right side. Packers show a blitz look, see if they're coming on third and long. They are. Kramer reads it, incomplete. He went left, his receiver went right. Anthony Carter, fourth down. And Kramer looks back. Misconnection on the blitz read. It'll be fourth down. And Rich Carlis, who was 2 for 4, will try his longest field goal of the year, 51 yards. He's missed from 44 and 29 this season. Bucky Scribner to hold. Wide right. Carlis 2 for 5. The Vikings have had field goal kicking woes this year. So Minnesota unable to capitalize on the turnover. The Packers get it back.
The only way to travel is Cadillac style. I'm rolling with the puncher. Well, that's sure plain to see. Ain't hiding from nobody. Nobody's hiding from me. I'm just headed for the mountains. I'm just looking for a bus.
12:55 to go first quarter. Sellout crowd on hand at the Metrodome. Rich Carlos, who had a contract squabble with the Denver Broncos and held out, finally signed a free agent contract with Minnesota, 2 for 5 now. Among the reasons he wanted to come here, his sister Kelly is Kurt Loudermilk's wife. Kurt, of course, the starting Viking center.
Free rent.
Yeah, that's right. Green Bay, 3-2 for the year. An explosive offense. They've been over 400 yards the last 4 games. Were over 500 last week in handing the Cowboys a 31-13 defeat. 5:02. Flag down. Fullwood almost breaks loose. Henry Thomas gets him at the 38-yard line. And now we'll check the infraction. Motion, Green Bay. Fred Wyant.
Illegal motion, number 57, first down.
Is the referee. That's Rich Moran, the left guard. Moran, when he heard about the Herschel Walker trade, had a nice response. He said, "Oh, shucks, I was kind of hoping they'd trade Herschel for Chris Dolman and Keith Millard. Instead, all those linebackers are gone, and I still got to face these 2 guys." First and 15. Yeah. Fullwood. No, it's Woodside. Keith Woodside gets the carry.
Well, believe it or not, Vern, one of the things that Packers told us was that they wanted to come into this football game and run the football. They thought that they had to establish a running game, and last year, the last 2 wins they had, they were able to establish the running attack, which set up their passing attack. Now, naturally, we all would think, since this is the #1 offense throwing the football, that that's what they would do today. But they want to run the football, and here in the first quarter, they're running it very well.
Woodside in his 2nd year. Now he goes in the slot to the right side, leaving Fullwood the only setback. 2nd down. Well, hello there. Millard says he was drawn offside.
When you look at Millard, you'd have to understand one thing about this man. He is absolutely free to do what he wants to in the defensive line. He is taught to rush the passer every down. I don't care if it's even 3rd and 1. Rush the passer. So if you move just an eyelash, he watches your eyelashes.
Encroachment, number 75, 2nd down.
If you move anything, he is gone like a shot, man. He is gone in that time. He obviously saw an eyelash move, and away he went.
Well, you saw the effectiveness of that style. 3 sacks last week. He is the #1 sacker in the NFL. He's got 8 for the year. Chris Dolman, who plays alongside him, said he got everything last week. I got there. I kept getting there late. 2nd down and 4. Option play. Mikowski and Fullwood mishandle it. It's a free ball again. Let's see who got it. Well, Mikowski looked like he was playing for Virginia, but Fullwood didn't look like he was still playing for Auburn.
Vern, this looked to be an audible by Mikowski. This was 3 linemen lined up on the inside, and Mikowski coming out was going to option Dolman 56. But the problem was with the audible is that Fullwood, it appears to me, Fullwood came up at the line of scrimmage. Fullwood is to go lateral, giving the room for the option. Too close that time, so when Mikowski pitched it, there was no separation.
3rd and 5, loss of 1 on the last play. No score, 10:39 to go, first quarter. The shotgun blitz coming. Sterling Sharp, great catch. And now the run after the catch. He's down at the 10-yard line. Sterling Sharp, who broke open the Cowboy game last week with a 79-yard catch, gets one of 57 now.
Left of your screen, 29, Fullington will come and blitz. Darrell Fullington will blitz, safety blitz. Very simply put, this means the quarterback is left unprotected. He must throw the ball to the outside. Sharp gets by his man. Rutland, 48. There's a great catch by Sharp, and doggone near got into the end zone. Fine throw, good read by by Sharp and the quarterback, Mikowski.
3 touchdowns already this year. He had only 1 as a rookie last year. 1st and goal. Flag down, delay of game. It'll cost Green Bay 5. Fonte can't believe it.
Delay offense. First down.
You know, you sometimes see that on a long play because that 45-second clock starts, and, you know, it just takes time to get the huddle together.
Exactly. Even after that, Vern, if you dilly-dally around and don't get on back, they've got the clock going, and that's what happened that time to Green Bay. They got caught just by taking it easy.
They have scored, as you saw, on 10 of 13, first and goal. Fullwood. Scott Studwell, now in his 13th year. Floyd Peters said he's one of the brightest linebackers in the league. Giants an early lead over the Redskins, and Detroit with an early lead over Tampa Bay. Our score 0-0, 8:50 to go first quarter. A 57-yard pass. Mikowski to Sharp has put Green Bay with the potential to score now. They've got a second and goal. 8:35 to go first quarter. Mikowski chased by Thomas. Throws it away.
Floyd Peters, one of the things that he was most concerned about was Mikowski's ability, once he's out of the pocket, to get outside and not necessarily throw the football, but to run for first downs. Mikowski, to his credit, where he has improved as a quarterback, according to his coach Infante, is the fact that once he gets out, he is now making the smart decisions. Notice he will pull up and try to throw the football. Everyone is covered. Don't force it out of the back of the end zone. No one will pay any attention to that. That's just thrown away. No problem.
Third and goal. Herman Fontenot is in the lineup. Number 27. Four-man rush. Quarterback draw. And Mikowski loses his helmet, and we may have a face mask call. Matter of fact, he got bopped on the hunker. Merriweather and Millard caught up with him.
Illegal face mask, number 57, first down.
Well, Merriweather had 2 personal fouls last week, Vern, and that I've played against with this guy, and that's not his nature. But in a game like this, where it's a divisional rival, a team that has beaten you 9 of 11 last time, looks to me that Mike Merriweather has gotten into the spirit of this thing. He reaches out as Mikowski cut back to the inside. It's just a natural reflex for the linebacker to reach out with his hand and try to grab a hold of something and pull him down. Unfortunately, it was a face mask of Mikowski.
More significantly for Green Bay, a first down. That was a quarterback draw on third and goal from the 12. And now the Packers have it at the 3-yard line. And they will call timeout. Minnesota, it is Green Bay. It's a Packer timeout, 7:52 to go, first quarter.
Cars aren't cheap, never have been. That's why I never take shortcuts with cheap oil and air filters. Give me AC filters every time. AC filters match the original specs on my cars like a nut on a bolt.
Precision AC Delco parts. They don't just fit, they match.
Keep your car running the way it was made to run.
Now get up to $8.80 back on AC filters and plugs. See your retailer for details.
7:52 to go first quarter. Just to clarify whose timeout it was, Fred Wyatt, the referee, first indicated Minnesota, then turned to the Green Bay side of the field. We now understand it was a Minnesota timeout because they had only 10 men on the field. There is Floyd Peters.
Yeah, you saw Mikowski call timeout, but the Vikings had beat him to it. So Mikowski, now realizing that, has got himself an extra timeout now. So good for them, bad for the Vikings. But if you're short a man, hey, call a timeout.
So it'll be first and goal from the 3, midway through a scoreless opening quarter.
Now, the real problem a guy like Mikowski, Vern, will cause a defense, really gives a lot of problems, is the fact that, once again, he has the ability to run with the football. So play action, getting outside, run-pass option is something I think the Vikings will have to be aware of.
Our eye set. Now Clint Didier goes in motion to lead the way. Fullwood cuts it back to the left. Merriweather and Studwell with the tackle. Vikings #1 defense in the National Football League. But inside the 20, they've allowed a touchdown 3/4 of the time so far. The NFL average is 53%. Minnesota ranks 26th in the league inside the 20. Their passing defense has been awesome. Don't know if that'll come into play here. Second and goal from the 1. Didier again. Same play. And how about the pop Fullwood took at the 1-yard line? Mike Merriweather, number 57. It'll be 3rd and goal. And then Henry Thomas gets up as well.
Normally the great hits at the goal line are made by the defensive tackle. But the activity of the linebackers of the Vikings is tremendous. There's the penetration, and then you see coming over top Merriweather with the big hit.
Third and goal, no score. 6:35 to go, first quarter. Play fake, option. Fontenot, touchdown. His first rushing touchdown this year.
Wanted to establish a running game. Hardest thing to do is run at the goal line, so you put in a little option. An active quarterback like Majkowski has the ability, and he told us one of the things I'm very proud of is my ball handling. And that time, an excellent fake into Woodside, brings in the outside linebackers in the pitch. Easy touchdown for Fontenot. Great call.
Chris Jackie, the rookie from University of Texas El Paso, with the extra point. Up and good. So with the help of a penalty on Mike Merriweather, a 1st and goal converted into a touchdown for the Packers.
He's love.
When it comes to Major Dad's daughter,
There's something about the guy.
can this officer remain a gentleman? Major Dad, Monday.
He's here. Last time he returned a kickoff was in the United States Football League for the New Jersey Generals. Herschel Walker's first appearance in the NFL in a uniform other than that of the Cowboys. A moment of indecision. The only unfortunate aspect is that there are flags on the play. And the flags are against the Vikings.
Illegal block in the back, number 86, 10 yards. First down.
Darrell Ingram, the tight end, nevertheless, take a look at a 52-yard kickoff return by Herschel Walker.
As great as he is, one of the things that you're not supposed to do is once that ball is 5 yards in the end zone is not return it. But this is his opening game. This is his curtain call, as you will, for the Vikings, and Walker, anxious to get out and do something, takes it out. Heck of a return. Unfortunately, Ingram, illegal block.
That means the Vikings start now at their own 13-yard line. Tommy Kramer, DJ Dozier. He's out to the 15-yard line. Johnny Holland, number 50, makes the tackle.
With Walker being with the Vikings now, Vern, you have to expect there's a little bit of pressure, more so than it has been in the past, on DJ Dozier. The fact is now, as he feels that he must perform. He has to execute. He has to do the exciting, the unexpected, because if he doesn't, Walker's going to take the job over anyway. I've got to get out and make it happen now, and whether or not he can, that's extra pressure, and that's something you don't want to have, but unfortunately, it's there.
2nd and 7. Dozier. First down at the 25-yard line. Brian Noble and Johnny Holland with the tackle. And an Another flag on the play will wipe out the first down.
Holding number 63. Second down.
That's Kirk Loudermilk, the center.
The center, this is Loudermilk, the center for the Vikings. Watch his hands. There's the pull, there's the wrap around. That is a heck. That's not holding, that's tackle, and the man ought to be on defense. That's a great play by Loudermilk. But if I'm Tommy Kramer, I applaud Loudermilk. I'll say thank you. I don't care what you do. You bite, you tackle, you kick. You do not let anyone in to touch me, and that's what Loudermilk did. He did his job. He just got caught doing it.
And he did it on Tim Harris. And that makes it a second down. And 17. Ball play. Dozier gets out of an ankle tackle and makes it all the way to the 15-yard line before Johnny Holland makes the grab. Tim Harris and Loudermilk. Harris, of course, the vociferous linebacker of the Packers, and a feature article written on him in Sports Illustrated this week. Loudermilk was among those who's would not be counted as a big fan.
Players don't like players that play against players that talk, and Harris does the talking to take the other players off their game, get them concentrating on him and not on their assignment. That's the reason he does it.
3rd and 7. 7-0. Green Bay leads it. Late first quarter. Blitz threat. 5-man rush. Kramer incomplete. Tiger Green defending on DJ Dozier. It'll be 4th down. Sean Patterson and Robert Brown with pressure.
It's an old theory of passing the football is you do not run screens on teams that play man coverage because the back that is to catch the screen pass has a back covering him, and that's exactly what happened that time. Dozier had a man covering him, man for man. Screens don't work when you have that kind of coverage.
Bucky Scribner to the speech for Jeff Query, and he has a 3-man convoy in front of him. Nice kick by Scribner. Query over the shoulder at the 33. Boy, that was a terrific kick by Bucky Scribner. 52 yards. Query with 11 on the return. The tackle made by Darrell Fullington. 4:25 to go, first quarter.
Dry is bold and wet. The taste of dry is less sweet. Michelob Dry. Brewed longer, so taste after taste, there's just no aftertaste. Michelob Dry. Bold taste with no aftertaste.
There's the subject of Herschel Mania right in front of Mark Rodenhauser. 52-yard kickoff return, the first time he touched the ball for the Vikings. Wiped out by a penalty, and on the punt, he wanted to get in on the punt coverage team. He was standing next to Jerry Burns with his helmet in his hand, said, I'll play. He will play from offense today. In the meantime, the Packers first down. Woodside and Sterling Sharp both come wide to the left. Coleman made it all the way with Wauwatosa en route to Green Bay.
We have encroachment.
Number 56. There you go, Fred. By the way, to go back, here's Dolman, who was encroaching. Way back a series or two ago, there was a confusion over the timeout. We now are told that it was ultimately charged to Green Bay. One official saw Minnesota trying to call timeout. The other saw Green Bay. They both indicated time had been called. They had a huddle, and Green Bay got charged with it. So.
Yeah, isn't it interesting if both of them call it at the same time? Do you just throw it out and say, forget it, and go on?
I thought Ty went to the runner. Oh, well. First down and 5 after the encroachment. Mikowski intended for Sharp. And he and Woodside roughly in the same area. This is an option offense, Terry, that Lindy Infante runs with the Green Bay Packers.
That's the way I've got this thing figured out, is that the routes are called by Infante, and if say it's the slot guy, he has an option on it, and it's within a framework, but there's several options, and he and the quarterback have to be able to read the coverage and both understand while the play is in action where that receiver is going. It's also a timing route play, whereas Majkowski has to throw the ball anticipating the spot where the receiver will be.
That time it didn't work. It's 2nd and 5. Green Bay leads it 7-0. Michael Haddix, number 35, who is one of the 7 Plan B players who are still on the Green Bay squad. Lindy Infante saying last night that he thinks the acquisition of Haddix has helped Brent Fullwood a great deal.
Well, Haddix is a back that a defense has to respect because, number 1, he is a solid runner. Number 2, outstanding blocker. And number 3, he too can catch the football. But primarily, for Fullwood's benefit, Haddix is an outstanding blocker. He has sprung a lot of long runs for Fullwood.
Green Bay in its strip set now. 3 wide receivers and Herman Fontenot. And out of the shotgun, Ray Berry rushing. Majkowski has to throw it away. Nice catch by Tommy Kramer. It'll be 4th down.
Ah, what great pass rush then, Vern. When you only need 4 yards and you have routes that you cannot get the pass off. Normally in a 4, when you need 4 yards, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the ball is gone. But the coverage today by the Vikings is outstanding, forcing Majkowski to hold the ball and then eventually just throw it away.
Leo Lewis back to return the punt of Don Brackett. 3:32 to go, opening quarter, 7-0 Green Bay. Nice punt. Lewis will let it go. It'll be a touchback and come out for the Minnesota Vikings at the 20-yard line. 3:20 to go in the ball game in the first quarter. And the Minnesota Vikings, who have had problems offensively in the first 5 games this year. Now, they've had injured players. Carter's been hobbled. Steve Jordan has a bad ankle. Hassan Jones with a groin pull. Well, you take away your skill players like that, and it's tough.
Hey, you're talking about Steve Jordan, who's an all-pro tight end guy. One game he played with an ankle cast on. He is still injured, but yet starting Hassan Jones, a hamstring. Carter with a hamstring, didn't practice all week. Take out your 3 starters and you put to them the fact that they're injured, they're not 100%. Man, you talk about put an offense in the tank. That'll do it quicker than anything.
Tommy Kramer starting in place of the injured Wade Wilson today. He's only 5-9.
Yeah, there's another one. Wilson, the quarterback.
Right.
I forgot about him.
Wade said he might be back in a couple of weeks. Here's Kramer on first down. Hassan Jones to the 23-yard line. And the tackle made by John Anderson.
Kramer will give you the looks today of a real crafty quarterback. In comes Walker.
Here comes Herschel from scrimmage for the first time. Herschel said he thinks he knows the audible system. Jerry Burns told us he didn't think he'd audible with Herschel in the game.
Yeah, he told us that. He sold you and I on it. I don't know whether or not he has sold Jerry Burns on it.
Second time in as many weeks that Walker has faced Green Bay. He did so last week in a Cowboy uniform. Here's the carry.
When they asked Herschel Walker what type of play he liked to run in their playbook, this is the sprint draw. This is the play Herschel picked out as my favorite play in the Viking running game. So there it is, his longest run of the season, and he lost his shoe on it. He doesn't lose his shoe. He probably goes all the way.
The most amazing fact is he lost his shoe, number 1. Number 2, Tim Harris caught him. 47 yards on his first carry. Kramer with time in the end zone. Intercepted. Touchback. Ken Stills. Alfred Anderson was all by himself in the end zone.
First of all, to throw this pass, you must have a strong arm, and Tommy knows this better than anyone. When the first routes are closed, when they're not there, throw it away. You can't throw back across the field. You can't see the whole field, and as you can see there very cleanly, that Kenny Stills, 29, the free safety, all he did was simply read Tommy Kramer's eyes and just go with his head, and his head took him right to the ball. Interception. Tommy should have just thrown it away.
First and 10, Green Bay. Turnovers now even at 1 apiece. What an anticlimax for Viking fans. Michael Haddock.
Ray Berry, what a play. Ray Berry is the backup middle linebacker to Studwell. Now, this is a guy, third-year guy out of Baylor. Backup, they put him to the outside because they've gotten rid of their starter, Jesse Solomon and David Howard. Those guys are gone. They had no right side or weak side linebacker. In comes Berry, a middle linebacker, put him to the outside. And when talking to him, he told us the last time he played the spot was in the playoff game against the Rams, and he led the team with 10 solo tackles. He feels right at home.
Second down and 12. Henry Thomas, number 97. Might be the final play of the first quarter.
This is a passing offense. The Packer offense is an offense that when Mikowski plants his right foot on the 5th step, he is to turn loose of the football. It's a timing offense. But what is happening is that the defensive backs of the Vikings are doing such an outstanding job of covering the receivers that when he plants that foot, there's no one open. He has to pull the ball down and now scramble and look for someone to come open.
Third and 17. Feingrad moved at right tackle, and that brought Al Noga across the line.
Well, you know what I think happened? I think quarterback Mikowski moved.
Ball started, number 73.
I believe Mikowski moved, which the linebacker saw, and he moved, and that move by him pulled Feingrad. I think it was a chain reaction, unfortunately, for Feingrad. He's the one that's going to get caught on it, but I saw the quarterback, Mikowski, take a stutter step before the snap of the ball.
That's the end of the quarter. Don Mikowski optioned to Herbin Fontenot. Herschel Walker has run 47 yards on his first play from scrimmage. That's the end of the quarter with our score. Green Bay 7, Minnesota nothing.
Undefeated Tennessee takes on Balla's surging Crimson Tide. Then the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame battles 10th-ranked USC. Doubleheader excitement next Saturday.
This is a special training course where Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts learn to deal with physical obstacles. Here, they learn self-confidence and reliance. I'm Brian Nova of the Green Bay Packers, and I got a very personal reason for working with these young people as a United Way volunteer. I was a Boy Scout myself, and I know the tough problems they face trying to grow up in a society where drug and alcohol abuse are commonplace. Through scouting and programs like this, which are made possible by your contributions to the United Way, these kids are making the right choices. Staying in school, saying no to all of the things that can rob them of their futures.
This is my wife, Cindy, and she was a Girl Scout. We both grew up in scouting, and these are my daughters, Taylor and Amanda. When you give to United Way, you're joining all of the volunteers and organizations that make up United Way, and you're saying you care. Because of United Way, it brings out the best in all of us.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Michelob Dry. Bold taste with no aftertaste. Mick Dry refreshes completely. The good time, great taste of McDonald's. And by Cadillac and your local Cadillac dealer. Discover why the only way to travel is Cadillac style.
We are inside the Metrodome on a gorgeous fall afternoon where Herschel Walker is trying to write a fairy tale, but a couple of his teammates have played Wicked Witch of the West. Herschel returned the kickoff, 52 yards, had it wiped out by a penalty on Darrell Ingram. And then on his opening play from scrimmage, scampered 47 yards, lost his shoe en route, was tackled by Tim Harris. But 2 plays later, Tommy Kramer threw an interception in the end zone. Now it's 3rd down and 22. Bukowski, deep left side into double coverage. Rutland is back there. Who got it? Reggie Rutland, I believe, has the interception. Yes. That's his first of the year.
If you're going to throw takeoffs, quarterbacks are taught to turn the football loose quickly, not to wait a long amount of time. You don't have to wait till the receiver gets 40 yards downfield. Actually, the longest touchdown passes, normally the quarterback will have the ball in the air by the time the receiver is 15 yards downfield. But this time, Bukowski just hangs onto the ball, lays it up. Actually, it's kind of like an alley-oop. I hope my guy catches it. But that time, Rutland fooled him, and he made the grab.
There was kind of a poignant scene after the interception. D.J. Dozier started on the field and was called back. Herschel Walker is on the field. And now in motion coming left. Up the middle. Alfred Anderson, number 46.
The Packers played against Walker last week, but they are not planning anything different. In other words, the Packers aren't going to change their coverages because of Walker, because the offense the Vikings run, Vern, is different than the Cowboys. So he has no effect. They're not going to change anything, put 2 guys on him or anything else. But as this game goes on and he plays, I would look for them to give serious consideration to where he lines up.
High formation. Rick Finney's into the blocking back now. Play fake. Kramer has a man open. Hassan Jones, first down at the 31.
One of the real great things that Walker gives you is that he gives you the threat every time. Just look at him. Look at the play action. There's the hand. Notice Brian Noble, 91. He stayed in to make sure that Walker didn't have the ball, and then he turned to run out. He goes outside. Nice run that time by Hassan Jones. Play action to Walker. Guy's wide open.
Gain of 19 yards. First down at the 30. 7-0. Green Bay. Walker. Johnny Holland got behind the line of scrimmage, and then Ken Stills made the tackle, number 29.
Tim Irwin, the right tackle. I'm sure he was surprised that time when he made his block and spun around. Walker was still going. Look as though Herschel Walker was going to be down. He goes outside. There's one guy that misses, and that's Holland. And now Irwin get in Herschel's way, and he'll look at the films. Irwin will 76, and he'll say, I learned something. This guy doesn't quit. I'm going to stay on my guy a little longer. Hey, this is nice.
Be a second down and 8. 7-0. Green Bay leads it. Dozier in the lineup, lined up wide left. The pass goes to the right side. It's good. Anthony Carter. Ron Pitts made the tackle. That's another Viking first down. A 15-yard gain. This game was a sellout before Herschel was acquired for all the players and draft choices, but the vendors told us they have never sold as many game programs as they did today. Souvenirs of Walker's first game for the Vikings. And outside, you see vans selling Herschel Walker T-shirts. Mania has hit. In the meantime, Alfred Anderson down to the 10-yard line. Jerry Burns said yesterday that Alfred Anderson and Rick Finney, between the two of them, are outstanding blockers, and he expects them to get inspired blocking for a guy like Walker.
Well, I think anybody that realizes there's a great back behind them knows that if they do their job, they'll actually do it a little better for a guy like Walker, who can also break tackles and go 100 yards. They'll work a little harder for a guy like this.
2nd and 8. Across the middle, incomplete. Hassan Jones, the intended receiver. Comes back in.
Notice that 59, there's your linebacker blitzes there. Kramer realizing dadgummit, I threw the interception early. I got Hassan Jones coming over the middle. If I just lay it in front of him, he catches it and breaks that tackle, and he's in the end zone. So sometimes the quarterbacks, they feel the heat too. The heat really has been brought on by Walker. He's doing so many great things.
3rd and 8. Draw play, Walker. It'll be 4th down. Sean Patterson makes the tackle, number 96. And that will bring on Rich Carlos, who was 2 of 5, missed on a 51-yarder earlier. Walker now with only 3 yards in his last 2 carries after exhilarating this crowd with a 47-yard scamper the first time he touched it in scrimmage.
Yeah, but he's one of those guys, he might not get another yard on the next 10 carries, and then all of a sudden, 80 yards. And you look there, he's 15 for 140 yards.
28-yard field goal attempt by Rich Carlos. It's good. Reggie Rutland's interception sets up the drive for Minnesota. Carlos gets a 3-pointer.
U.S. Armed Forces to get high.
He excites this crowd.
Well, he not only has an impact on his offense, I think Herschel Walker's the type of individual has the impact on he gets everybody excited about playing because so many great things happen, and one of them is the guy can score touchdowns and touchdowns when football games, and more of those you win. These guys want to get to the Super Bowl.
Kickoff taken by Workman back at the 4. And he's out to the 23. Looks like a little squabble breaking out. John Galvin, number 90. And no flags go.
Yeah, that's like the high school rivalries. You know, that's when you got the college rivalry, homecoming, whatever it is. You know, you have that in the National Football League, too. This is the Packers and the Vikings, and these guys don't like one another. You know, and the Packers are always on the, you know, they haven't been in the playoffs in a while, and Vikings so much expecting, and there it is, and there's Galvin, and yeah, I got a shot in, I'll get another one later. What's his number?
Now there's a hold-up with a replay for some reason. Mikowski was ready to go, so were his teammates. I'm not sure what they could be reviewing. Fritz Graff is our replay official today. That is not him. That's just one of the technicians in the booth.
The ball was out of bounds at the 22.5. First down.
So first down, Green Bay. 10:59 to go first half. Mikowski also with a modest start. But he did hit Sterling Sharp with a 57-yarder. Where he can really hurt you, but only a 3-yard gain this time at the 26. Studwell and Ray Berry make the tackle.
One of the things that'll happen as this game goes, Vern, is that Infante will watch Mikowski and how he is handling the offense, and then the things that Mikowski is not throwing well, say he's not throwing hooks well or sidelines or post patterns, then Infante will change the offense and take those routes out of the game plan and apply the things that the young quarterback Mikowski is doing well in that game.
2nd and 7. Woodside goes wide to the left. Goldman coming after Mikowski. Got him. He lined up left. Chris Dolman, who was frustrated last week when his teammates were getting all the sacks, and told us, Terry, that his goal is to lead the National Football League in sacks this year.
He thought last week against the Lions, he said, I beat my guy right off the bat at the line of scrimmage. Chris Dolman will be on the left of your screen, 56, going around Vinegrad. And then there's the delay by Fullwood. But anyway, he said, I beat him so quickly. And he said, I started just thinking, gosh, this is going to be great. He said, I'd get there, and Millard would be laying on top of the quarterback. He said, I've never seen anything like it in all my life.
That is the 6th sack for Chris Dolman this year, out of a shotgun on 3rd and 14. Mikowski, incomplete.
If you want to have an effect on a young quarterback in a timing offense, you disrupt the timing. And the way you do that is twofold. You either put pressure on the quarterback or you hold up the receivers and keep them out of their timing patterns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no one open. Finally has to throw it away. Give credit to the secondary of the Vikings. They are really messing up the passing game of the Packers.
Leo Lewis will return Don Bracken's punt. Whoa, what a kick. Lewis at the 34. Has a little room. Across midfield to the 49. A 17-yard return of a 47-yard Bracken punt. Ryan Noble makes the tackle. Jerry Bernstein has the ball at the 49. 9:25 to go first half. 7-3. Green Bay leads it. A sellout crowd at the Metrodome in Minneapolis. They have not seen their Vikings defeat the Green Bay Packers here in a couple of years. Green Bay has won the last 4 games between these two teams. Herschel Walker surges inside the 45 to the 44-yard line with Alfred Anderson in front.
You know, I see a different Walker running because we've seen Herschel early in the season. Herschel did not run, and as one scout put it, we have not seen Herschel Walker move the pile. I'm seeing Walker move the pile. I see a Walker that's happy. I see a Walker that is excited about playing again, and that run, that last run, is a typical Walker effort. Inside, get hit at the line of scrimmage, lower the boom, explode, and then get an extra 1 or 2 yards.
Hasn't been over 100 so far this year. 2nd down and 5. Kramer with Walker out of the lineup, comes back to D.J. Dozier. And Dozier with a nifty move. At the 14. That's a gain of 28.
A little deception. Dozier remaining back in the backfield, coming right at you. Notice he's going to attempt a block. Notice the fake block on Sean Patterson, the defensive end. He fakes it, pulls out of the pattern. Kramer semi-rolls right, draws the linebackers to his side, and then turns and throws back against the grain to D.J. Dozier.
Dozier gets the rest, and now Herschel Walker back in the lineup. Herschel said his first game with the Cowboys, they were going to give him a limited role. Tony Dorsett got hurt. He played the entire game. Wanted to do that today. Here's the draw. Walker. Boy, you're right, Terry. You're absolutely on the mark. We saw him 2 weeks ago against the New York Giants, and he was so tentative, and you just don't sense that about him today.
Well, the way they had him running the football in Dallas was they wanted him to turn his hips parallel to the line of going away from the line of scrimmage, and Walker said, I don't want to do that. I want my hips facing the line of scrimmage where I have my power. So it was a disagreement right off the bat on how to tell a great running back how to run with a football. So he didn't like that one bit. Obviously here what they're saying to him is just run. How do you want to run with a football? That's what they're letting Walker do.
2nd and 4. Jimmy. Touchdown. His 3rd touchdown of the year. Up the middle. And the Vikings have the lead. 7:50 to go in the first half. another anticlimactic stoppage of play. Play will stand. And Carlos will try and add to the Viking lead.
One of the things that the officials were checking, Vern, was the fact of whether or not Finney's knee hit down. Looks like the knee goes down, the body's extended over the plane of the goal line. That's a touchdown.
So the Vikings take a 3-point edge with 7:50 to go, first half.
Hello, and welcome to MTV Rewind 1982, the second in a series of shows examining the music and popular culture of the 1980s, or as we like to think of it, the MTV era. I'm your host, Kevin Steele, and for the next 2 hours, we'll be taking yet another trip down memory lane. 1982 was the year that England and Argentina came to blows over a couple of islands populated mainly by sheep. It was also the year that we in America discovered the Smurfs, Garfield, Valley Girls Speak, and Late Night with David Letterman. 1982 was also a good year in the music world as MTV helped to revive the slumping industry and record companies began the extensive use of videos as a marketing tool. Videos quickly went from being perceived as a promotional item to being recognized as, quote, an art form. Production budgets skyrocketed and unemployed art students became video directors overnight. A new era was born. Peter Gabriel explored the potential of the new medium with the release of his monumental video Shock the Monkey, whose stunning visuals stand out even today. Let's take a look at it.
Now on a 3-point edge, Rich Carlin will kick it deep to either Vince Workman or Jeff Query for the Packers. That's Workman at the 1. Flags are down.
Illegal block in the back. Number 56, half the distance, first down.
Burnell Dent, the backup linebacker, guilty of the block. Don't forget next Saturday on CBS, CFA College Football with a doubleheader for you. 4 of the nation's best teams. We'll kick it off with Tennessee against Alabama live at 12 o'clock Eastern Time. And then Southern Cal makes its annual trek to Notre Dame, or every other year they go to Notre Dame, live at 3:30 Eastern Time. The Trojans and the Irish, preceded by Tennessee and Alabama next Saturday on CBS. Down 10-7. Mikowski, straight drop back. Almost picked off.
Mikowski will set up. Now he'll move a little bit to his left to give himself some room, Vern, to stride and guns this ball in there. But nice job by Ray Berry, the linebacker. He set inside. He read the quarterback, and then when Mikowski planted, he went with his eyes also and got a hand and knocked the ball down.
This is a Minnesota defense that through 5 games has allowed 89 yards per game passing. Number 1 in the league by a bunch. That's the 3rd sack. This one to Keith Millard.
A team that is outstanding outstanding rushing the passer, loves it when they have a team in a position where they have to throw the football to move it. Millard coming in around Fullwood gets a hand on Mikowski's ankle, pulls him down with a little help of Dolman. But one of the things is when you have a team that sacks the quarterback a lot, you now have to have an offense that can move out a rolling pocket. And I believe Green Bay has this, and they may have to go to it.
3rd and 12. By Fullwood. 4th down. And that brings on Don Bracken, as Don Mikowski is now 2 of 9 for 61 yards.
A little indecision, a little doubt in Mikowski's mind now. Not much success early, and I would say that he's lost a little confidence. Very natural to lose confidence throughout a ball game and to get it back again with a few completions. So right now, Mikowski has to be a little bit shy of confidence.
Lewis, 43.
Mike Weddington, boy, what a job.
52-yard punt, 6 on the return. Millard with the 3rd Viking sack of this ball game. That gives them 24 as a team through 5.5 games. They have really put pressure on with that front four. Millard with 9 sacks. Tim Harris of Green Bay, 7.5. And then Ezra Johnson, Lawrence Taylor, and Simon Fletcher next on the list. And Chris Dolman, as we told you, said, my goal is to be number 1 before the year's out. Back. Vikings lead 10-7. Tim Irwin. Robert Brown, number 93. They're going to call it on Brown, I think, from his reaction.
See, Brown, I got to believe that Robert Brown is looking through Irwin and looking into the backfield. And what you're taught to do is periph the ball. Watch the ball. Don't watch the guy in front of you. Watch the ball. When the ball moves, hey, get after it. But you can't look at a guy in front of you or look through to the backfield.
Encroachment, defense, 5 yards.
.110 in a row for Robert Brown in his 8th year out of Virginia Tech.
You like that, don't you? When you have a player that is good as Brown, who is always there for the games. Coaches like to know that they can depend on their players. And Brown, with that streak, indicates to you he's a guy that obviously is played, can play, will play hurt, is always there. Boy, that means a lot to a head coach.
1st down and 5. 10-7, Vikings lead. Penny. DJ Dozier belted backwards by Brian Noble.
Noble, number 91, will come firing right through as Dozier comes across. And boy, there's just not a lot of room for Dozier to run with the football. 91, notice he comes through totally untouched. Gosh, you had a tackle pulling down, a guard, Kalis, pulling out. They run into one another, knock one another off, and open up a beautiful lane for Noble.
No wonder his helmet hurts. He popped 3 of his teammates with it. 2nd down, 6. Kramer, right side. Alfred Anderson, nifty move. 1st down, Minnesota.
Now, this is something that the Packers are used to, Vern. Right now, they're blitzing, trying to put pressure on Kramer. They gambled earlier with Noble and got the big sack on the running back Dozier. But now with the blitzes, Kramer comes out with a passing. If you send 2 linebackers blitzing, that only leaves 1 left on that side to cover the back, and he's inside. Man, it's easy catch. Catch it and run with it.
Walker back in the lineup on 1st and 10 after a 15-yard gain. Versus the 6 carries thus far. This will be the 7th. With Penny in front. Dances to the outside and is out of bounds after a 9-yard gain. Flags are down. And we'll see against whom this one is going to be called. Vikings react as if it's against them.
Holding, number 81, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Anthony Carter. Look at the grin. That's Jerry Berkman, the head linesman, and Bernsey going at it, and Scott Studwell. You don't think Berkman will talk to you?
Oh, he'll give you a little. Notice in the bottom right, see if Carter does, in fact, block. There's the hands inside. The right hand gets on the back. Boy, that's terrible.
That's picky.
That's taking it a little bit far.
That's picky.
I mean, after all, Carter's a little bitty guy. He's not going to hurt anyone anyway if he blocks him in the back.
That is really picky. First down. Walker goes right. Anderson in front. And is out of bounds at the 35. Herschel, of course, came up here Thursday morning. Took Jerry Jones' private plane up from Dallas. His wife, Cindy, is still back in Dallas, and Herschel said he's going back tonight. He'll collect Cindy and their dog, Capone, and bring them both up here.
Hey, and did he not tell us that Capone, had the dog not had a place to come to with a fenced-in yard, that they would have nixed the deal, wouldn't have come? I mean, that's the truth. Cindy asked Mike Lynn, hey, you got a place for the dog Capone? If you don't, and Mike Lynn looked at Herschel, said, is she serious? He said, absolutely, no place for the dog. We don't go.
Well, they said, believe me, there are places in Minneapolis for the dog.
Yeah.
So Capone and Cindy are going to be here Tuesday. Dozier belted backwards. You got to feel sorry for DJ Dozier, because every time he doesn't make yardage, this crowd is so hyped up for Herschel, they're going to want Herschel in there.
Well, it goes back to what I said earlier, Vern, about pressure. Now DJ Dozier, a #1 draft choice out of Penn State, realizing that with Herschel here, I must make something happen. I must do the spectacular. And this guy is an excellent running back, but Walker is a phenomenal running back. And there's the difference. And he knows every time I touch this ball, I have to make something happen. That's a lot of pressure.
Shotgun on 3rd down and 12. 10-7. Minnesota leads. 4:19 to go in the half. Blitz threatened by the Packers. Flags are down. Maybe a free one for Kramer. He goes left behind Anthony Carter. And let's see if it's against Green Bay.
Kenny Stills, I believe, it's going to be called on Stills as he's taking his helmet off. I wouldn't want anybody to know what I looked like if I just got offside. I'd keep my helmet on.
Encroachment, number 29, 5 yards, 3rd down.
See, this is where you make a mistake. You don't mess around with a veteran quarterback who knows how to use a cadence. And Kramer saw Stills coming up. When in doubt as to what a team is going to do with their safeties, going a long count. They'll come up, they'll play with you, going a long count. You'll get them committed early, and then you can make changes. You can make audibles. Stills got caught going offside. Good job by Kramer.
And an argument from the coaching staff on the Green Bay side. 3rd down and 7. 10-7. Minnesota leads. Four-man rush. Kramer off balance. Tipped away by Tiger Green. 5-man rush that time. And the pass intended for Dozier and Kramer.
Yeah, see, what Tommy's going to holler out, Vern, is that he's going to say that the defensive back put a hand in the back of his running back, and he did. And he got away with it. That was a lot worse than the play earlier on 81 Carter's block. Dozier out of the screen. On your left will run a sideline route. There's the pass. There's a left hand by Tiger Green wrapped around Dozier. So there's your penalty, if you want to call a penalty. That's a good one right there.
Wasn't called. That brings up Rich Harless with 47-yard field goal. He's 1 for 2 today. Blocked. And it'll be Green Bay's ball at the 12-yard line. Blocked in the middle of the line.
Looks like Pitts. Everyone's hollering and hugging on Pitts. Ron Pitts, yeah. You always try to keep the middle, the pocket for the kicker. You try to keep it protected from the outside. Oh, the wingman turns, Finney turns to the outside to block the outside man, Query, and allow the inside route for Pitts. You never allow the inside. One thing a coach will tell you, lock down, keep that inside leg tight, force everything to the outside. Don't let anyone come inside.
Rich Harless 1 for 3. Ron Pitts with the block. Just under 4 minutes to go, first half. 3:57 to be exact. Mikowski only 2 out out of 9. He's been sacked 3 times by this outstanding Viking pass defense. Screen pass, incomplete. Intended for Fullwood over his head. Terry and I had a chance to talk to John Spagnola, the tight end who's on injured reserve now for the Green Bay Packers before the game. And he, of course, signed as a free agent. He was talking about Ron Pitts, who just watched that last play. And John said, I came into camp and I asked Ron Pitts, I said, are you any relation to Elijah Pitts? He used to play for the Packers. And Ron said, well, yeah, he's my dad. And John didn't know it. He said, he was my hero when I was growing up. They were teammates. He had no idea. Second and 10. Big hole. Keith Woodside to the 44-yard line. A 32-yard gain, by far his longest of the year.
Well, if you're playing against the #1 defense in the National Football League and you're playing against a team that has a lots of sacks, one of the things you have to do is run the football, and this is what the Packers wanted to do. They felt like they must run the football to be successful. Well, this is a pretty good play. Woodside breaks one outside all the way out to the 44-yard line. If they can run, Majkowski will eventually be able to throw.
Woodside with only 47 yards in the previous 5 games, and everybody had the snap count except Blair Bush.
I don't know. Maybe Blair is the only. He's got the ball. Blair's got the ball.
False start. Number 86, false start, 5 yards.
Well, blame it on somebody. Right. Yeah, they call it on Ed West, but he was one of 10 guys who moved.
He's one of. You're right, he was. But Blair Bush knew what he was doing. Center he has control of the football. You can bet he'll sit right there, but he'll look kind of stupid. But Ed West got called for that.
13 penalties already in the ball game. And Modest amount of yardage. First down to 15. 2:49 to go before halftime, and Green Bay trails by 3. Left side, incomplete. Reggie Rutland picks it off, intercepted. Reggie Rutland gets his second of the ball game. A flag is also down.
These are timing patterns. These are timing routes. And the timing has to be perfect between the receiver and the quarterback, or this is the end result, an interception. Majkowski threw the football actually for the receiver to be another 3 yards down on his route. That time he threw it a little deeper.
Personal foul. Number 33, 15 yards, first down.
On the right of your screen, Majkowski, 1, 2, 3, 4, sets up, turns, and guns this baby. Now there's the route, but there's the pass as it's thrown. According to this view, it's thrown behind Sterling Sharp. It should have been let out a little longer. Either Majkowski's wrong or the route should have been deeper. I'm going to have to say Majkowski was wrong.
I'm not sure where Woodside had the personal foul, but they threw the flag on the second-year man from A&M.
Yeah, this is a 5-step drop, turns and guns, Vern. And there's a good pass, but the ball is actually 2 yards behind Sterling Sharp. So
I guess they ruled that Rutland was down when Woodside made the tackle.
Exactly.
And came in late in the fact. Kramer flips it. C.J. Dozier. And he's down at the 28-yard line. Well, Don Majkowski with 11 touchdown passes this year, but he now has thrown 11 interceptions. And Lindy Infante said sometimes he still has problems with this offense.
Hey, folks in Green Bay, don't go anywhere. This is the way these Packers play in the first half. They love this. They like getting behind and throwing interceptions and get everyone kicking the screen. But this is a team that loves the second half, and I'm certainly, if I were him, I would be down.
Second down and 9. 10-7. That's the 2-minute warning before the play gets going. Don Majkowski has been intercepted twice. We're at the 2-minute warning. Minnesota has the ball at a second down. 10-7, Minnesota leads it at the 2-minute warning. Packers, of course, have been the comeback kids of '89. They Cowboys, and they went on to win that one 31-13. And Don Majkowski has been spectacular in the second half, much more so than in the first half, in establishing a 3-2 record. Right now, the Vikings have a 2nd down and 9, and Herschel Walker in the lineup. Pitch. Anderson, and he's down at 24. Don Majkowski in his 3rd year out of Virginia, 11 touchdowns and now 11 interceptions. But look at the difference, Terry, in what he's accomplished in the second half from the first.
Well, you wonder why, and I think a lot of it has to do with being young, a very complicated, very intricate offense, settling down as young kid and settling down. At halftime also, I think their offensive coaches do an excellent job of game plan strategy and changing the game plan. Now look at the first half, boy, this was terrible, and I believe they changed their game plans in the second half, and this kid has responded extremely well.
Some confusion in the Viking offense, and they call timeout. That is their first, so Minnesota has 2 remaining, and we have 1:19 to go first half. And then the Rick Fenny touchdown run to put them on top, 10-7 with 1:19 to go before halftime. Dozier is the running back with Rick Fenny. Jim Gustafson goes wide to the right side. Hassan Jones is split out to the left, out of the shotgun. Tim Harris lines up over center, and they hand it off to DJ Dozier. Might have enough for the first down at the 17-yard line. Mark Murphy makes the tackle.
You know, a good point, Vern, that you made was Tim Harris lined up over the center. And the key to that is Harris lines up over the center. Anytime the Packers think that it's a mismatch.
Tiger Green is the injured player for Green Bay.
Anytime they can outman the center, then they'll put him over the center and let him pass rush. And what the Vikings did when Harris got over the center, obviously to rush the passer, they ran wide. They ran to the area that he normally is out there roaming in. The linebacker, outside, strong side linebacker, they ran that way away from him.
Well, they're tending to Tiger Green, who appears to have an injury to his right arm. Time has been called while they tend to that. Good game today, and we've got more for you next Sunday on CBS. NFL action will continue with the NFL today at 12:30 Eastern Time. Then either the Green Bay Packers at Miami, and Taff here in town with us briefly while he did the feature that many of you saw on Herschel Walker today. Tiger Green apparently going to be okay. And that's a charged Green Bay Packer timeout. They have 1 left. Vikings on their first 2 drives had 3 yards. And since then, with the help of Herschel Walker, they've got 188 yards. They have a 10-7 lead, 1:05 to go. Give it to Finney up the middle. He's inside the 15 to the 14. Rick Fenny, who had the touchdown run a moment ago. And Minnesota uses a timeout. They have 1 left.
That was interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Get into a double tight situation, turn around and hand the ball off tackle or between tackle and guard when you have a minute and 4 seconds left with an offense that's very complicated and very explosive. I would think the Vikings would have come out, Vern, with 2 plays and tried to go ahead and run their offense at the line of scrimmage, which is most quarterbacks do, and certainly Tommy Kramer has that ability to set the offense and call it at the line of scrimmage.
Bob Schnelker and Jerry Burns on the sideline. We're a minute away before halftime, and coming up at the half, Brendan Erb will have scores, highlights, and the latest information. And then Leslie Visser with the story of Chicago Bears All-Pro Dan Hampton, who once again is licking his wounds with yet one more surgery on his knees. And Dan is
Hampton's a special breed.
second down and 6, 1 minute before halftime. And again, Harris lines up over Kirk Loudermilk in center. Kramer backs out, puts it to Dozier. Johnny Holland, he gets by him. And is out of bounds at the 8, and there's another player down for the Packers back at the 21-yard line. Knee injury,
That's
obviously.
Patterson.
Sean Patterson.
This will be Patterson sitting right here. Keep your eye on. Let's see what happens. It's a screen outside. Patterson just goes upfield. There's the little flare. He tries to knock the ball down and then plants. He plants with his left foot to turn. The turf grabs his cleat, and the foot stays in the. You see, no, yeah, planted and I turned out, and it just held him there. So his body goes one way, but his legs stayed back.
Boy, there's an artificial turf injury, isn't it?
Yeah, I hate this stuff.
And he'll be taken into the locker room now. Blaze Winter, number 68, has come into the lineup, taking his place. There's Blaze Winter. Green Bay now out of timeout. The 2 players injured in this drive. And by far the most serious of the 2, of course, is Sean Patterson. It'll be 3rd and 1 when we resume play. The Vikings trying to increase the lead that now stands at 3 points. Hassan Jones, Leo Lewis go wide to the right side. Carter and Gustafson come wide left. Finney, the only setback behind Tommy Kramer. Rick Finney. And Kramer uses the last Minnesota timeout and stops the clock with 47 seconds to go. Did you happen to notice, as the scores were rolling by, that at halftime the San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys are tied at 7?
I noticed that, but as you also noticed, I didn't say anything for fear of a misprint. The Cowboys are a football team that, for the first half, have played decent. And for the first quarter, you know, whatever quarters are worth to you, have been leading and have stayed right there. So to see them tied doesn't really surprise me. Of course, this guy might have, maybe they're fired up. Maybe Clack down there that took this guy's place, maybe he's having the game of his life. Like, well, I think Herschel is doing extremely well here in his first game with the Vikings.
First down and goal from the 6, 10-7, Minnesota leads.
Matter of fact, thinking of Herschel, I think I would have him in here. Said he knows the plays.
They said they weren't going to use him on goal line, but he said, I could do it. Kramer, it's a flat. Gustafson, touchdown. Jim Gustafson, who took time out yesterday afternoon to go to the St. John's St. Thomas football game here, and was most upset because St. Thomas lost. That's his alma mater.
Well, another thing, you've got the alma mater in there, but the thing he does best, and he said, is I read coverages as well as anyone, and I'm able to find the open spot. And that time he found the open spot.
5th catch of the year, but his 2nd touchdown for Jim Gustafson. And Carlos's extra point makes it 17-7.
There you're looking at Gustafson. He idolized another great receiver here, Vern, and Sammy White from Grambling, who played up here many years, was many years All-Pro, and he idolized him a great deal. And when he came in, Sammy White went down on injured reserves, and he took his spot and has never given it up.
Watch Gustafson lined up to the right.
In the right of your screen, you young people out there, if you really want something bad enough, this man is a classic example of never give up on a dream. 4 times he tried out in the National Football League. 4 times he failed, and finally was called back by Bud Grant and has been with the Vikings ever since. So, if you really want something, you want to chase that elusive dream, don't give up on it. Stay with it. That's what this young man did.
One of the better athletes on this Viking football team. Bud Grant's son was Jim Gustafson's roommate after he had been cut and was working for a local firm here in Minneapolis. And Grant called him and said, come on back. We're going to give you a real good chance to make the ball club. And then, as Terry said, the irony is Sammy White, who was his hero when he played high school ball, was the man who was released to make a spot for him.
Yeah, every year he said, they write me off, they write me off. And how many people in the National Football League that when we talk to them and find out that that's their story also, they write me off, they write me off. But those people don't give up on it, and eventually they make it.
Workman and Cleary are deep. 43 seconds to go before halftime. The Packers are out of timeouts. Vince Workman, 5. Flags are down. So is Workman at the 31. That'll come back.
They're going to call this on Blaze Winter, I believe. Vern, another illegal block. Gosh, that's the third one we've seen today.
We have illegal block in the back, number 68, half the distance, first down.
It is Blaze Winter.
See, he's doing the same thing Anthony Carr. See, I had my hands out, and the guy turned. See, what can happen a lot of times is the guy that Blaze Winter is blocking, all he simply does is turn his body and the hand slide to the back. See? And then I used to do that as a quarterback after throwing interceptions. I'd go make the tackle. I'd go to get blocked. I'd turn my back on them. They'd run up my back, and we'd get 15-yard penalty.
38 seconds to go before halftime. Witkowski hands it off to Fontenot. He's down at the 12-yard line. And again, the Packers are out of timeouts. They had to use 2 for the injuries to Tiger Green and Sean Patterson.
Well, if history is going to stand to be repeated again today, I can't wait till the second half. You know, I'll be glad when this one's over with and we can all grab a hot dog and get ready and sit down in our seats if we can stand it, because the second half has been Packer football. Witkowski and these guys light it up, so let's see if that happens.
Packers trail by 10. The Vikings lead at 17-7. That's the end of the first half with our score. The Minnesota Vikings 17 and the Green Bay Packers 7. And they outscored them 17 points to none. They also had double the time of possession. And Herschel Walkers would like to know that Herschel returned the opening kickoff 57 yards, or his first time to have his hands on the ball for the Vikings, but then it was wiped out by a penalty. He also ran 47 yards the first time he touched the ball from scrimmage, but then 2 plays later, Tommy Kramer had a pass intercepted in the end zone. But Walker was 69 yards on 8 carries in the first half. And they try and kick it away from him, but he comes up under the ball and is out to the 23-yard line. 17-7. And Tommy Kramer heads back onto the field. Herschel Walker will stay there. Tommy Kramer in the first half threw for a touchdown to Jim Gustafson. Also had 1 pass intercepted by Ken Stills. 8 of 14 for 96 yards. 17-7. Minnesota leads it. Dozier is in the lineup, and Walker is back on the bench. And off Dozier. Gets a block from Randall McDaniel, the left guard, who was back in the lineup. He's been out for a couple of weeks with a knee injury. And a flag might wipe this one out. There's an infraction.
Illegal motion, number 84, 5 yards, first down.
Hassan Jones.
Yeah, those type of penalties are simply mental penalties. You just simply aren't concentrating on what your job is, and to get those type of penalties just drive a coach, and you go crazy. Jerry Burns can't be pleased. Here we get they get a first down on a running game, which is what they want, and then a senseless penalty right off the bat in the second half. He can't be happy with that.
Jerry Burns, who said yesterday, I tell my players, they don't play you to pay you to play, they pay you to win. And we need to win. Up the middle it goes. Rick Finney runs into Bob Nelson, the nose tackle, and Johnny Holland. Finney, who had 1 of the 2 touchdowns in the first half on an 8-yard run. Been a penalty-filled ball game so far. That last one, of course, was against Minnesota, but Green Bay, with the season high of 10 penalties, they only had 20 coming in. So 10 in this ball game for 62, and Minnesota 7 for 48. Sean Patterson out with a knee injury late in the first half. Blaze Winter is in his place. Kramer back. Tipped away. Almost intercepted by Ron Pitts. And Steve Jordan had to knock it away. By the way, good news for Packer fans and the family of Sean Patterson. That knee injury has now been diagnosed as not serious. He will not play again today, but the early indications are very positive. So that's good news. He's not back in today. 3rd down and 13.
That ball could have been intercepted by Pitts, and Harris had gotten in the face of Kramer, and Kramer threw the ball sidearm to get it underneath the arms of Harris, forcing him to pull it almost, into the arms of Pitts for an interception.
Shotgun formation.
Blitz.
Handoff up the middle. Alfred Anderson, 1st down, all the way out to the 34-yard line. A 14-yard gain.
You're going to see Anderson. One of the good things, in the top right of your screen, Anderson will just slide over and take the ball. Notice at 59, Anderson. Notice on the left, that's Tiger Green, and Kramer sees this, and then when the ball is snapped, there comes the attempted blitz, and then right up the middle is no one. Good job, good play calling right there.
3rd and 13, they get 14 and a 1st down with 12:48 to go, 3rd quarter. 17-7, Minnesota leads it. Walker out of the backfield. Quick screen, Walker. No screen, really. He's by himself. And he's out to the 41-yard line with his first pass reception. And he is a great pass receiver.
One of the things that happened in Dallas was that when Tom Landry had Walker, he found out he could catch the ball. And so, therefore, they said, well, let's build a little package around it. Now he's catching the passes. Now they said, well, he can run, so now he can catch. And so they end up building the whole offense around him. And I think it's a mistake that the Vikings would make, Vern, if they built their entire offense around Walker, because of all the weapons they have, they would hurt their football team.
2nd down and 3. Walker. That's a 1st down at the 45-yard line. Brian Noble makes the tackle. And an ovation for Herschel Walker.
Well, it's good running by Walker, good blocking. One of the things that Walker wanted to do in Dallas this year was handle the football. I'm a running back, he says. I need to handle the football, and 8 or 10 times a game wasn't going to cut it for a running back like Walker. Some even speculated that was kind of a setup as to get him mad so that he would be so angry that when they brought the trade to him, that he would accept it because he was so unhappy with the offense that Jimmy Johnson was running.
1st and 10. Jordan backs off the line. Play fake. Robert Brown has Kramer wrapped up. Boy, he blew by Brian Habib, number 74, who's in there in place of Tim Irwin right now.
Brian Habib will be this gentleman's right chair. Keep your eye on him. There he comes down inside. He had a cutoff block, and boy, that's almost impossible, Vern. From the angle he had to block all the way down and get on Robert Brown was a virtually impossible block. So in defense of Habib, he was asked to do something that I don't know if anyone in the National Football League could do, and that's penetrate 2 yards and hit and try to block a guy like Brown, who is so quick and had no one over him.
Loss of 12, fighting the clock. They have to call time. The 45-second clock was down to 1 second, and Kramer called timeout. 17-7, 10:33 to go in the quarter. To Jim Gustafson, all of that after a Rich Carlos field goal. And it's 17-7 now. Minnesota has the ball with a second down and 22 after the 12-yard loss on the sack by Robert Brown. Stunts by the Packer line. The pass deep right side for Anthony Carter. Tipped and incomplete. Good coverage from Ron Pitts.
This is just a one-man route. Kramer just back. He just throws it deep for Anthony Carter. Beautiful timing route. If you could have seen the timing on it, Kramer threw this ball about 5 yards, the stepwise. Anyway, before the receiver Carter was even anywhere near Pitts, the ball was way in the air.
Herschel Walker had lined up as a wide receiver for the first time. That's a tactic the Cowboys had employed many times. And there's Mark Murphy out on him.
Murphy probably lost his breath, hoping he had help.
3rd and 22. Rush from the outside. Kramer gets rid of it, incomplete. Good pressure by the Packer defense. Walker, of course, in his first game here had not had a good year, nor had the Cowboys down in Dallas in games 1 through 5. This afternoon, Herschel with 9 carries for 74 yards. The Cowboys, in his absence, playing the 49ers thus far, have 54 yards as a team. And that's roughly what they've been accomplishing most of the year. Walker, who said he and Cindy will buy a home in Minneapolis and live here in the offseason. That is their intent. They're also going to keep their home in Dallas, however.
And New Jersey.
And New Jersey. They have homes everywhere. He can afford it. Great punt. Bucky Scribner. Jeff Query at the 15. Out of bounds at the 27-yard line.
Well, this is what we're waiting on. I know I am. Getting ready for this game, I kept hearing about magic. And I said, what's this magic stuff?
Bucky Scribner, in the meantime, is trying to complain that he got roughed. There's Tim Harris certainly ran into him.
Yeah, he ran into him, but also you could say in the defense of Tim Harris that if the kicker is caught pretending that he was rough, he's the one that can get the penalty.
And in the meantime, here is Don Majkowski. 10-11 to go, third quarter. Packers where they usually are, down at the half. Woodside in motion. Majkowski to Woodside. Spins out of the tackle. And Merriweather strips the ball free, but it'll be out of bounds in possession of Green Bay. Ball ruled out at the 29-yard line.
In the screen, I went to the right. You're going to notice that Millard is lined up over the right guard, outside the right guard. Now, he just comes up to the outside. That's a simple rush. Now, as this follows, we'll just keep you posted to the positions he gets into.
And he's at his left again, so it's an over. Terry was talking about at halftime. Majkowski, 4 sacks today. Millard. That's his second.
Well, he had such good success that he stays same spot. Notice the same spot. This is Studwell lining up behind him. But a single back. Notice the single back 21. Studwell goes with the back. Millard gets around Holstrom. And now, all of a sudden, Majkowski has to step up, and he steps up into the arms of Millard. Good coverage by the Vikings secondary is responsible for the sack. Normally the other way around.
3rd and 9. Blitz. Bullington coming. Pass complete. Harry Kemp with a first down for the Packers at the 43.
We said in the first half, because of the pressure the Vikings were putting on Majkowski, that they would have to go to a rollout pocket to get away from the rush, and I was sure that they had this in their game plan. There's the setup. Blitz comes to the outside. Dolman chasing. But notice, no one now is in the face of the young quarterback Majkowski, a good athlete who can run and throw as well on the run, gets outside. Now the problems start. Now what do you do to stop the rollout?
First and 10, Packers. At the 45, they trail by 10. Vikings back in and under this time as Millard lined up on the right side. And Keith Woodside makes the tackle. Now for a National Football League update. Let's head back to our New York studios. Here's Brett.
Vern, it is 3rd and goal for the Dallas Cowboys. The world champions have held them twice in a row. Slant for Clark. He's in, and they're all tied. 2 minutes to go in the 3rd period. Back to Vern.
Well, that is amazing down in Dallas.
I wonder if they took them a little lightly. I think it would be easy to do. If I were a defending champion and playing a team, the Cowboys, I would think I would take them easy.
Second down. Reverse. Harry Kemp. Chased by Rutland, and Rutland knocked him out of bounds at the 49-yard line, a 4-yard gain. Reggie Rutland, who has 2 interceptions today.
Reverses are great against teams that love to pursue. Millard now has decided that he doesn't like it here. He goes all the way and lines up here. A reverse coming back, but watch Mikowski, the quarterback. There's Millard. Nice job. He penetrates. Now he says, oh, boy, I'm going to make it. No. Mikowski gets him, nails him. Great block by that young quarterback. I love that.
3rd down and 6 at the 49. 17-7. Packers trail Minnesota. 5-man rush, 4-man. Mikowski across the middle. Fontenot incomplete. It'll be 4th down. Keith Millard now with 10 sacks for the year. Floyd Peters is defensive coordinator, and Don Bracken comes on to punt. Leo Lewis waits at 10. Excellent punt. Lewis at 6. Out to the 22-yard line. Tackle made by Mike Weddington. 17-7 after the 44-yard punt, a 15-yard return. 7:35 to go, 3rd quarter. In the timeout, he and Keith Millard seem to be disagreeing on something, Terry.
Well, they're talking about it in front. Millard, so he's telling him, you got to come in when you see the guy go down. You got to come back out and get the reverse. That's what he's talking about. Millard said, I saw the guy try to cut me. I stepped down, and then I went on and pursued. So they're worried about him getting caught inside on pursuit and more reverses by the Packers.
And that was during the timeout, and now Minnesota has a 1st down and 10. Walker is in, left tackle. They pitch it out to Alfred Anderson, who comes right, chased by Brian Noble and Mark Murphy, number 37.
This is an offense that has not played well, not this game, but in this season. The Vikings have not been a consistent, cohesive offensive unit, and I happen to believe, once again today, it's a little bit better, but it's not the Vikings that I know I'm used to seeing. But I think the injuries to Hassan Jones and to Carter, and especially the tight end Jordan, who we have not heard from yet, is really hurting this offense. These guys are not well, and therefore they're not lighting it up like we're used to seeing them.
Jordan goes tight to the left side. Anthony Carter wide right. Hassan Jones split left. Blitz. Kramer reads it. Dozier has it. At the 35-yard line, 1st down before Ken spills him.
Ken Still got caught out of position. If the linebackers are going to blitz, and that's your responsibility to cover the back, Stills should get over and line up over the back. And what Ken Stills was thinking was, I won't give this away. I'll line up away from the back, therefore they won't know who I'm covering. But he got caught at his own game, and a good job. The blitz came, Kramer dumped it off to Dozier, and now Still, instead of having his man for a sack, ends up having to chase him and try to prevent the 1st down, which was too late.
1st and 10. Jordan in motion. Hassan Jones with a nice catch at the 41-yard line. Well, let's check in with the Giants and the Redskins. They're playing in New York. Once again, here's Brent.
All right, Vern, and here is the most spectacular catch of the day so far. Mark Rippon, 29 yards. Watch Ricky Sanders in the end zone. And the Redskins have taken a lead for the first time with time running out in the third, 10-6. Back to Vern.
Okay, Brent, that's a rematch, of course, the second time those two teams have played already this year. And the Giants won the opener on Monday night. Finney and Walker in the backfield now on 2nd down and 5. Toss to Herschel Walker with Finney in front. And they gang up on him. Herschel had this absolutely forlorn look on his face yesterday afternoon after most of the media had gone. Terry and I and Irv Cross and our production staff talking with Herschel. And Terry, of course, makes his home in Dallas now. I did for a number of years. So we were a couple of faces from home for him. And after it was all over, we were walking away, and we said, we'll see you tomorrow. He says, oh, you're leaving? Because he doesn't know where he's staying in town. He was lost. He wasn't sure where the practice facility was. It's got to be disruptive.
Like a guy that lost his best friend. That was the look he had.
5:13 to go, third quarter. Kramer. Jordan at the 49.
Well, now, those of you that are watching wondering, you have to admire the offensive line of the Vikings because the difference between Mikowski and Kramer, that was a good example of it. Kramer had time to go to his first receiver, second receiver, third receiver, back to the first, and then turn around and throw it to his tight end, Jordan. So it was just a case of him having lots of time and the young man, Mikowski, having to make decisions quicker.
Steve Jordan, number 83, was not wearing that jersey in practice yesterday. He was wearing number 20, a tribute to his teammate who was traded, Darren Nelson.
A bunch of guys with a bunch of jerseys on different.
Pass deep for Hassan Jones. He's there. Fade route right. Out of bounds at the 11.
To throw takeoffs. You saw one earlier where Kramer tried to throw it deep to Carter just by simply lining up deep and throwing it deep. Here's the other way you do it. You pump it to hope the corner bites the pump, and then the receiver goes by. Hook and go. Beautiful route run by Hassan Jones. Good job by Kramer getting the ball out there. 84, Jones. Now what? This is designed for the corner. If he's watching Kramer at all, he'll stop. Once he stops, the receiver blows by him.
That's a gain of 39. Jones has 4 catches. Alfred Anderson just committed and gets inside the 10 near the 8-yard line. Blaze Winter, number 68, makes the tackle. Herschel Walker in his first game here. 10 rushes for 76 yards. That is a Vikings individual season high. They haven't had a runner over 100 yards in a long time.
They haven't had a runner like Herschel Walker ever. And they've got a good one here in Foreman, who was here for a number of years and holds all the Viking records. But Walker is a unique specimen. They haven't seen anything like this guy.
Finney in motion. Kramer. Finney. Touchdown. His first touchdown receiving this year, his second touchdown today. And Rich Carlos will try the extra point out of Bucky Scribner's hole. 24-7. Watch Finney come across the backfield in motion.
The real pressure was put on Kenny Stills, who has the back out of the backfield. Stills 29. Do I try to make the tackle or do I go for the interception? I'm going for the interception. If I miss it, I got to look for a carpet crack where I can get under this because it's a touchdown. It was.
Deep, the Packers have fallen behind 24-7.